Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back. Hopefully you're all doing well. Cage Warriors 113 is still a goal. It's still a goal. From the event being in front of the crowd and still, we're not cancelling, to it being behind closed doors, to Indigo at the O2 saying, no, we're not holding any events, to the card being moved, all the way up to Manchester, to numerous fights being cancelled, to opponent changes, to fights being added from the UFC London card, and that dropping out. Another fight being added and being made the main event. Darren Stewart taking on Bartosz Fabinski, who moves up from welterweight to middleweight. I have no idea why this is the main event, but I'm not too bothered. We have a lightweight title fight. You think that will take top billing, but I think because they're UFC, they're in the UFC and they've moved over to Cage Warriors, whatever's been in the contract, they're the main event now. No worries, we've still got fights to watch tonight and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to Paddy the Baddy returning. The lightweight title fight between Mason Jones and McColgan should be an excellent fight as well. For this video, I'm going to focus on two fighters, Paddy Pimblett and Mason Jones. Let's start off with Paddy Pimblett. He's been off for over a year. One of Europe's top prospects. He's been over for a year, out for a year. He was meant to be back in November, but we saw the whole fiasco, Desmay pulling out, then Joe Giannetti stepping in and then missing weight and insisting on fighting again, and Paddy not fighting, having to wait again all the way until now. We're in March, having to fight with 3 opponent changes. The Desmay fight rescheduled, Desmay pulls out again, Davide Martinez steps in, travel restrictions because of coronavirus in Italy, he can't fight, and now he's fighting Decky Dalton. He's made weight, he's ready to fight tonight. I can't wait to see him. Decky Dalton, obviously, he's got his last few opponents that he's got a win streak against, 13 and 23. Paddy said he didn't want a tune-up fight. He would have loved to have jumped in straight with Mason Jones. That's not going to happen, but I really do think these two are on a collision course. He seems to have recovered from his hand injury, but from what he's been saying, the hand's never going to be the same because he kind of decided, he made the mistake of getting into a fight with it injured and ignoring it and decided to push through. You look back at his last fight against Soren Bak. In my opinion, and I agree with Paddy, if his hand was all right, I don't think he has a bad squeeze. If his hand was all right and he had no issues with his hand, that fight would have been over in the first round. It would have been over. He had the figure 4 lock on his body with his legs, hand wrapped around his neck. He just couldn't squeeze. Tried to squeeze but couldn't get, the force to finish the fight. Top prospect. The Scousers absolutely love him. What's gutting about this one as well, Paddy's fight, is the fact that if you watch all of his fights previously, I have a stupid story of how I first met him and I didn't know he was, or my mind went blank. I can't remember it. I just feel so embarrassed. I'm never ever going to go into that. If he sees me and remembers me, I'll hold my head in shame in it. I highly doubt he would, but it was a minute ago. If you look at all his fights, the crowd absolutely goes nuts for him. Now, to him now fighting in an empty arena with no fans, I just don't think it's going to be the same. But the good thing is, it's been over a year. He's been struggling with injuries, depression and whatnot. It's the life of a fighter, unfortunately. But he's back. And I think a lot of UK fans, European fans, even worldwide fans that know him are looking forward to seeing him back. Excellent grappler, striking's coming along really well. I'd like to see what improvements he's made over the past year and a half. I'm no expert, no, don't take it that way. I just want to see how he comes back, after being off for so long and facing so much with the opponent changes, Desmay being scheduled twice, that fight falling through, the Joe Giannetti situation. He was so, I was saying he was crying in the bus, after he missed weight because he weren't going to fight that the following day. It sucks, To this one, third opponent, Desmay Martinez, now Decky Dalton. I think he's just happy to fight. He wants to get in there, get his feet wet and keep it stepping. Now, let's go on to Mason Jones, who fights against Joe McColgan in the not in the main event, it should be the main event, but for the lightweight title, which Jai Herbert's vacated, and he was supposed to be on the UFC London card. Surprisingly, I don't know why. They could have moved the Jai Herbert fight and the Mark Jacasey fight, because they both, if I am not mistaken, I know Jai trains in Birmingham, and I can't remember where Mark trains, but he's somewhere in the UK. Unless that's changed and my mind's gone somewhere else. They could have put that on the Cage Warriors card, but it is what it is. We've got Mason Jones and Joe McColgan. Mason Jones, another top Welsh prospect as well. Very powerful, very strong, good striking. He's turning side kicks. His leg kicks are brutal. He's got power in his hands. judo background, got takedowns for days. He's good control on top. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt. We saw it in his last fight. I was there in Cardiff, and boy, the Kimura he had in round 1, Lord have mercy. I was so shocked how he could not tap. I'll put a card in for you lot to see the Cardiff vlog. I could not believe it. Me and the guy sat next to me were just like, that's in. Hold on. That's he's going to break his arm. Alexei Mantikivi, shout out to you. You're one tough guy, He did not tap. Mason admitted that even in his post-fight, saying that if it was him, he would have tapped because he was disappointed in himself. Because obviously, with when you have a Kimura like that, and it's that deep, if you squeeze any harder, it should be a Frank Mir Nogueira situation where you break the arm and you make the referee stop it. He didn't tap, and the fight went on. So round 2, same thing. He took his back, couldn't sink in a choke. Round 3, same thing. He avoided the guillotine, got on top, tried for the Kimura again, then took him down, took his back again, come close as well to sinking in the choke. Alexei Mantikivi, one tough guy. But for Mason Jones, that Kimura in the first round, boy, he should have ripped his arm off. But shout out Alexei Mantikivi. He's trained that team Alpha Male. I think this whole camp he's done it in Wales. But he's another prospect to look forward to. 8-0, undefeated. I have a feeling him and Paddy Pimblett are going to meet very soon. If they both win their 2 respective fights, I have a feeling, obviously with the whole Corona situation, once this all blows over, I think these 2 are going to end up fighting each other. I don't think the Desmay fight's going to happen, unless it's 3rd time's the charm. We might have another, what's his name? The Irish fella, Lord, I forgot. The one that fights for Bellator, whose opponent keeps getting rescheduled. He's meant to fight in June. I've forgotten his name. Strabanimo. What's his name? I've forgotten his name. It'll come back to me. If it doesn't, so be it. You lot probably know who I'm talking about. Probably another Tony Khabib situation with Desmay and Paddy Pimblett. But it is what it is. I can't wait to see both of these guys fight. Mason Jones, I can't wait, because I've seen him fight live as well. I've seen his ferociousness, he's relentless. He's got power. He's always coming forward. He's very aggressive. Paddy Pimblett also. What sucks for Paddy again? It's just the fact the fans won't be there, because you look back and the atmosphere is rocking all the time. You look back at that Nadir Rahmani fight. Everyone was on their feet from the get-go. No one sat down. What? I can't wait. They're on a collision course, 2 lightweight European prospects. I can't wait to see how they both fare. It's tonight, I'm recording this Friday morning, so I can't wait to see how they both fare tonight. Thank fuck, Graham Boylan. Shout out to you for keeping this card and giving the fans, new fights to watch, so we don't have to go back for this Cage Warriors 113. It might be the last time in a minute. But thank you, Graham Boylan. Thank you, Cage Warriors, for all the work you put in. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to see Paddy the Baddie and Mason Jones perform tonight. That's my take. If you guys have anything else to add, let me know. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe, and all of that stuff. And I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone.